welcome everyone. We've got another great episode of the Performer Chat Podcast. My name is Daniel Garcia, your host, and we've got a very special guest, Mr. Mike Marchetti.
Hey, Daniel, how are you?
I am great. Thank you for coming on the podcast, sir.
Oh, no problem. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yep, and if you're kind of wondering, wait a second, Daniel, what are you doing? Mike's not a performer, at least not the kind of performer we normally have. Mike and his lovely wife, Kathy,
Yes.
are owners of the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe, a place that's very near and dear to my heart, as well as a lot of other performers that have been on the podcast or in the Plainfield, Will County area. And so we've got some special things coming up as part of for Black Dog Vinyl Cafe, and we want to talk to Mike, talk about some of those things, talk about the store, and maybe if we have time, get to know Mike a little bit better.
For sure.
You okay with that?
Oh, yeah, sounds great.
Okay. So we kind of, because it's a little different, you're not going to get up with a guitar and sing.
No, nobody wants that.
No,
really.
you've never played an instrument, huh?
I won't say that. I've never played an instrument well.
Okay. Well, okay. Fair enough. What instrument do you not play well then when you do try playing?
A guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. My secret's out now, Daniel.
I know. So
that was a very well-kept secret, and I just put it right out there for the world.
Oh, man. Well, we can cut it if you want.
No,
post,
it's fine.
But if you're okay with it.
It's fine.
So how come we're never going to see you on stage at one of your open mics?
Not at one of my open mics.
Okay. That's fair
Maybe you
enough.
run into me at somebody else's open mic.
You know, it's funny. We asked Carolyn the same question. I hear she's a fantastic performer.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, not here. I'll do somewhere else.
Yeah, and I like that idea. That's where I guess that's where I got the idea. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's what she always says.
I'm like, okay.
She goes into the city where nobody knows her.
I can respect that, but like other people that are here that have seen her like raving about how great she is, and
Yeah.
like I'm sure you are. It's just anyway. So we kind of go through a certain format here. Gonna start with kind of the quick info, the who, what, where, when, why, the kind of the boring stuff. Not that you're boring, just want to get that out of the way.
Yeah, for sure.
So we get to the exciting stuff that we're gonna talk about very soon. So really quick, what is your name officially, and what do you do?
I'm Mike Marchetti. I am the owner-operator, along with my wife, Kathy, of Black Dog Vinyl Cafe. We are basically, we like to think we're a community gathering spot. You know, we do a lot of different things here. We're a coffee shop. We've got an espresso machine. We do all the Starbucks-y drinks. We've got a full liquor license. We serve local craft breweries. We feature their beer. We've got cocktails and wine. We're a record store. You know, we've got over 2,000 records on our shelves right now. Great selection and great variety. And then the coolest thing we are is we're a music venue 4 days a week. We do live music Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and during the summer or non-football season, we do it Sunday afternoons. You know, we pair that with a lot of fun things, pop-up kitchens, food trucks, things of that nature.
Absolutely, and we can't remember what I was gonna say, but full disclosure, we come here a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot, especially a couple times a month for open mics.
Yes.
Other times you have different friends perform. Some of you've seen on the pod chat. You've seen Jesse Perez. He's performed here.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen Lorenzo D.
Lorenzo's
He's performed
a big
here.
friend, yes.
Harmony, she performs here.
Yes.
I missed her show though.
Her Sunday afternoon, yeah, it was good. She had a
missed it.
nice turnout. Some of her members of her new band came even.
Oh, did they?
It was pretty neat, yeah.
We had a pretty busy Saturday and we couldn't make it to the.
Yeah, it happens.
So
You guys all support each other so well. It's really
We do.
cool.
Well, we've met some really cool people here, and this was a place for Holden's first open mic ever.
I remember.
And so yeah, you watched him grow from this tall to this tall.
Yeah, he's getting there.
He's getting there. I could talk on and on about how great this place is, and we're going to come back and talk about some of that.
Yeah, sure.
But we want to get through. Otherwise, I'm going to get a side eye from Ken saying, in less than 3 hours, Daniel. So where are you located? Where's the store located?
We are in Plainfield, Illinois. We are at 16108 South Route 59, which puts us just south of Renwick Road, and we are on the west side of Route 59.
Okay.
Our building's a little bit set back behind the light source building. There's like 3 or 4 buildings in our complex, and we're the furthest back building.
Yep. And so the places you might see from the road, the restaurant in the corner, that's Rosati's.
Rosati's.
And the other side is Beggars.
Beggars.
But come back here, it's the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe.
Yep.
Okay, so when are you open?
We are now open 7 days a week. We open daily at noon. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday till 6 o'clock. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're kind of flexible. We say 10 o'clock, but depending on the music and how late it goes, we usually start our music at 7 o'clock. So we tend to be done a little bit earlier, but the liquor license says we can stay open later, so we kind of stay open until people go home. Sundays we do noon to 4 with music at 1 o'clock.
Great, great. And then I know sometimes you have special events that come up
Oh yeah,
or holidays or family things. You have to close a little earlier or weather, but
yes,
that's like any place.
yeah, for sure.
So how long have you been doing this?
We've been here since September of 2020,
Okay.
right during the pandemic. Jumped right in.
You opened during the pandemic.
Yes. Well,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it
Was it?
was still pretty heavy. Yeah, there was no, they wouldn't let us put our tables out. We couldn't have any chairs. We had like 2 tables out with no chairs. And it was basically, we were selling coffee. We had the records on this side, which did allow us some retail where people could drink their coffee and walk around for a little bit, but it was
Hmm.
masked and 6 feet. We actually looked at this place for the second time the Monday in March before the close down happened on Friday of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah,
So we
that's
came back for a second time and we're like, I like it. I like the flow. I like the 2 rooms.
hmm
I thought it could, I, what I see now is pretty much what I visualized then. And then all of a sudden everything got shut down. We backed away for a couple months. We talked about it. Kathy works in the healthcare industry and she's like, this isn't going away. If this is what you want to do, do it.
yeah.
Somebody else is going to come and take this spot and jump in. So we jumped in. We,
No, we're glad you did because I feel like this really has turned into a. It's not just a store; it's a
no,
place people come together, gather,
thank
all
you.
sorts of things. Okay, one more question in the boring section. Again, not that you're boring. Get this out of the way.
Got to get the facts out.
Get it out there. So, where can people find you online?
Online, we do not have a website, but we are on social media. We're on Facebook, which is really the best spot to find us if you're looking for our events. And you don't even have to be on Facebook to find us on Facebook.
It's a public page.
Yeah, if you go to Google, we'll come up. Our Facebook page will go on. You could click right on it as a guest and see our events. They're all under our About tab. We do Instagram also, and we have started doing some TikTok.
Really?
The young ladies are in charge of the TikTok.
Oh
I don't
man.
have a TikTok on my phone. I
Okay.
do have the Facebook and Instagram on my phone though. I keep track of that. I do most of the Facebook stuff. Kathy does most of the Instagram
That
stuff.
tracks.
Yeah.
Because the hipper people do the Instagram.
Yes.
I do the Facebook.
Yeah. No, the
Friend-
old people do Facebook. That's
I
me.
know. Friend does the Instagram, and Holden wants to do the TikTok, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But Carolina said she'd run a TikTok page, and we said, run it.
She'll do a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
So we got the quick info out of the way. We're going to keep charging through. Now, one of the things we wanted to get together on, especially right now, today is Monday, March 24th, and hopefully this
Yep.
episode will be coming out within the next week or so. I'm looking at Ken, and Ken's not saying no. So, okay, thumbs up. Well, that was a thumb, right? Not the. Sometimes I have to check
Yes.
which finger he's giving me.
No, yeah,
when I
no, it was a
ask
good
him.
one.
Okay.
It was a good one.
So anyway, there's a huge event coming up
Yeah.
on April 12th,
Yes.
2025, and that is
Record Store Day.
Record Store Day. This is an annual. Well, you know what? We're going to talk about it.
Well, let's
We're going to
talk
talk about
about
it right now because it's a very cool event, and I want you all to know about it. I know about it. Mike knows about it, but we want you to know about it.
Absolutely.
So pretend I don't know anything, Mike. It shouldn't be too hard on some
Alright.
subjects, but what is Record Store Day and when is it?
Record Store Day is April 12th of this year. It's a Saturday. Basically, Record Store Day is the biggest day for independent record sellers. I mean,
Which is what you are.
which is what we are.
Yeah.
You have to be a brick and mortar store. You have to be independently owned, so no chains.
Okay.
Walmart, Target, they don't qualify for this. Last year, there were 14,000 stores in the United States that qualified to be a participant. 14,000, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I looked at some of those numbers today when we were talking earlier, and
Mm-hmm.
in the Chicago metropolitan area, just Chicago, there's 66 record stores.
Really?
Yes. We do
Okay.
the Will County record crawl every year. We've got 5 record stores that you can drive from one to the other within 15
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
of each
I've heard of
other.
that last year.
Yeah. We've got Audiophils in Joliet. We've got Paul Rose on the other side of Plainfield. We got Disc Replay right in Crest Hill. Controlled Chaos opened up in Bolingbrook. They're a little bit further away, but they're not that
too
far.
far, but
There's another record store in Morris. I mean, they're just popping up all over the place,
now,
really.
my impression with all the independent record stores, you guys are all pretty supportive of each other.
Yes,
and
we
you
are.
all have a love for
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. We do a lot of things together. We've done more and more. one of the record stores, Audiophiles, which is in Joliet last year, they got invited to go to the Blues Brothers Festival at the old Joliet prison.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so they reached out to us and Paul Rose and Disc Replay and said, "Do you guys want to come with us?" And
Really?
they printed up T-shirts. And if you're familiar with the Blues Brothers, Ray's Musical Exchange, Ray Charles
Mm-hmm.
is. We got a banner and we were Ray's Music Exchange. We all had T-shirts on
That's so
that said Ray's
awesome.
Music
That was
Exchange.
last year?
Yeah, it was last
Oh
summer.
my
Yeah,
gosh, that
yeah.
was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
I didn't get to go to that one. I actually went to one a couple years ago when they first came back, the first year of it,
Mm,
where they had the Blues Brothers. They had
yeah,
Danny and Jim,
yeah.
and my buddy was moving away to Florida, and kind of a last hurrah. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna get us tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, I've helped him out before. He was being nice, returning the favor, and comes pick me up, and he got his VIP tickets.
Oh,
So
awesome.
we were like in the special place,
Yeah.
and at one point I'm sitting there but having a drink, and like they're starting the concert. You know, his entourage going to the stage like bumps my table and spills my drink. I'm like, hey, Danny, come on.
Come on, Danny.
But we got right in the front row and saw
That's
the
awesome.
concert with them, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's
Love the
good.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
Big
me
fan.
too. Yeah,
Big
for
fan.
sure.
And then a note I have is if you want also can go to recordstoreday.com after this podcast just to look up some info. But we're going to talk about some of the stuff you're going to find there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll throw out a few names that Daniel looked at, some things he liked, some things I liked, but there's a lot of titles. So definitely go to the RSD site and print out the list and find your local record store and hit them up for sure.
Yep. And again, RSD means Record
Record
Store
Store
Day.
Day.
Okay. Because sometimes we abbreviate stuff. And
Yeah.
you kind of forget that.
I do it all the time, and my wife's like, everybody else isn't in your mind. They don't know what you're
This
talking
might
about.
be a good thing sometimes, though. So
Yeah.
my wife will tell me, and she's like, why are you repeating yourself? I'm like, because you didn't listen the first time? No, I did. I just chose anyway.
Yeah, I get you.
No, none of my issues here. Okay, so why is this such a special event? We kind of talked about that, but
So it's a great opportunity for the mom and pop stores to compete against the bigger retailers that have jumped into the vinyl revival again. It used to just be these little stores, and as vinyls gained in popularity, Walmart and Barnes and Noble and Target have all jumped back into the game again, which is it's good on the one hand because it gives you more exposure overall, but they've got the buying power, they've got the money, they can go out and buy 20,000 albums because they're buying in volume, they get better prices, because they're going to buy for their entire regional stores. Whereas I'm buying two or three, we were talking about the Luminaires cop album. I said,
Oh, that's right.
I brought in seven copies when it came out. So I'm not getting a bulk discount
You
price
got
on
four
that.
of them left right now. I saw
Yeah.
3 in the rack and 1 on the
Yeah.
display.
So and that's always a gamble. How many do you bring in of something new?
Well-
Is it Taylor Swift? Is it who is it, and how quickly do they sell?
But you mentioned the big box stores. One thing I know this, you know this, but you might not realize this. You go to a Walmart or a Target and you buy the record and you go to an employee and ask them about it, they're not going to know anything about it.
No.
You might get lucky and have somebody that maybe, but you don't. You come to a record store like this, and they're going to be able to tell you all sorts of stuff about the band, the music, the concert, the recording, the pressing, about the album itself. It's an expertise you're not going to get elsewhere. And if you're a music lover or a music nerd, these are the kind of places you need to be.
Yes.
Yeah, Target, go get your deodorant and shampoo, but not or whatever. But come here for the good stuff.
Yes, please. Yes.
So we talked about how many record stores are out there. I'm going through my notes. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
get ahead of
good.
myself. So one thing that's very special about there's a lot of special things. One thing in particular is how they handle the releases. Now, I saw on the website, there are exclusive releases, limited regional to RSD first releases, and another one, exclusive releases. And
Yes.
limited. So exclusive, limited run, and first release.
Yes.
So can we talk through some of those?
Sure we can. So first off, the exclusive releases are exclusive. They should only be released on Record Store Day.
Okay.
And that's
Which is April 12th,
April
2025.
12th, yes. And that's the bulk of it. The RSD first releases are things that will get released on Record Store Day, and say perhaps it would be in colored vinyl.
Okay.
Well, 6 months later, they'll re-release it again, but it won't be in colored vinyl. It'll just be a black. Standard black. So that's kind of how they get around that. Regional can be bands that were only popular regionally, typically. or that they just, like a local band, like maybe a band from Illinois. I didn't really notice any Illinois bands on the list for the regionals today. I noticed, I think the OJs were on it.
They were, aren't they, an Illinois
They
group?
might be an Illinois
Hey,
group.
Corinne, are the OJs an Illinois group?
Possibly.
Possibly, she'll
They
look
could
at.
be Michigan too.
She's our fact checker
You gotta
because
have one. It's good
yeah.
to have one. The there's another one too, and you mentioned it, the Top Secret soundtrack.
Oh, the Val Kilmer.
Yeah. And I don't know how that gets regional here. I'm not really sure why that became a regional release for our area.
Well, is it though? I went to the website, downloaded the PDF, and I was just looking up the different categories and the different ones. So some that caught my eye
Mm,
for the exclusive releases. There's a huge variety.
yeah.
And so I saw that David Bowie is Ready, Set, Go.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big one. They have they also put the numbers and how many they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
make available
Yeah.
to all the stores total.
Yeah, so
And you
that
get a slice of those.
you get a slice of those. So I could order 10 and get none. I could order 10 and get 10.
Yeah,
I could
it's
order
just
2 and get none. I could order 2 and get 2. So you gotta
the luck of the draw.
luck of the
sometimes.
draw, and for the bigger ones that you think there's going to be a demand for, you go heavy, and sometimes you get stuck with all 10 of them, even though you really want 6, so you order 10 thinking you're only going to get half.
That makes sense. And then I would guess that as you're looking at the available catalog, their big numbers might be assigned to you on maybe I should do because the David Bowie they had 6,400.
Yeah, that's
That's
not
a
a
big
lot.
number.
It's not that big.
Really? It was one of the bigger numbers.
Yeah,
I
did you
saw.
feel it? Yeah, okay.
Well, I didn't look at everything. I just
Yeah.
kind of what caught my eye.
You know,
George
that
Harrison.
yeah, that 5 to 10,000 is usually that range. They usually go up to
Really?
maybe 10,000, I think. Yeah.
Well, I tried looking up what I thought would have been really popular ones like David Bowie.
Yeah.
George Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
All Things Must Pass.
Yeah, and that's a Zoetrope pressing,
Yes.
which means it's not only colored, it's going to move as you play it.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've noticed that before.
Yeah. Those are new. They just started doing those last couple years or so.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
with the so when you play I'm gonna call it a specialty. Maybe it is a specialty, but
Yeah.
does it sound exactly the same as a
If it's pressed
traditional?
properly, it should.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still vinyl. If it's all done properly,
If the
it shouldn't affect it.
colors
Yeah,
or
the color shouldn't affect it. I mean, there's good pressings and there's bad pressings across the gamut.
Sure.
Whether it's on black vinyl, Blackberry Smoke released a Record Store Day album 2 years ago. It was all Rolling Stones cover songs.
Mhm.
And every single one of them had 2 skips on it in the same
Really?
spot. And it was black vinyl. It wasn't colored vinyl. It wasn't anything.
The standard pressing, they
Yep.
still.
Yep. And it's, it was 180. It was a thick album. It was just a bad pressing.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's just the way it is sometimes, and it's not a standard factor that, oh, well, yeah, it's going to be bad. It was a picture disc. Yeah, it was going to be bad because it was on color. No, that's not necessarily the case.
Sometimes just a bad pressing. I
Yeah.
saw the other one that kind of caught my eye was Jeff Bridges. I love Jeff Bridges as an
Okay.
actor.
Yeah.
All my life, I've been watching Jeff. I was born in the mid 70s.
Mhm.
Still younger than Ken. But I've seen Jeff in all these movies all my life, and I had no idea that he was in a group in the 70s.
Yeah, I don't
assume.
really recall it either, but I noticed it on there.
Yeah,
You'd be amazed. Yeah. I've had albums come in from David Carradine, from David Soul. Remember Hutch?
oh yeah,
Starsky and Hutch?
that's right.
I've got his album here somewhere. They all put out albums in
They
the
do,
70s,
but-
80s. Yeah.
So that caught my eye. I'm gonna check that out. And then for some of the first releases, Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
that I'm sure they're probably perennial.
Yeah.
with something
They do
huge.
something almost every year.
Aha.
That'll go. That'll sell.
I
That'll be
bet it
one of the
will.
more popular ones.
I bet it
feel
will.
like.
Hunting High and Low. That was like the really big album back
Yeah.
then. And then they also have things like Patsy Cline. Oh, I love Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline's yeah.
But so yeah, there's a wide range. It's not just any one type of genre. of
No,
music.
there's a lot of blues. John Lee Hooker, Willie
I
Dixon's
saw
doing an
the
album.
yep, I saw those.
Peter Tosh has got an album. There's a bunch of good jazz releases. It's really an eclectic list.
It is, and there were some. I'm pretty well rounded, not just physically, but musically. I'm pretty well rounded. There's some names I didn't know who they were.
Yeah,
So I don't know if they're indie groups or just.
there are a lot of them. Yeah, it's very diverse, the list.
Yeah. So it was really cool. So you go to the store or go to the website, check it out, and you can see at least what's coming. Now, so how do you decide what to order for the event?
It's a culmination of culling facts, and I put it out on our Facebook site a couple times. Hey, here's a link to the list. Go on the list and tell me what you'd like to see me have.
Okay.
Record Store Day has certain rules. So if you told me you wanted that Jeff Bridges album,
Hmm.
I can go ahead and order it, but I can't hold it for you because you wanted it.
Sure, you have
You
to,
have to physically get in line and get to it before anybody else gets to it.
which I like my odds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For Jeff Bridges.
And that's why I asked. So now if 4 people say we want the Charlie XCX album, I know I should get at least 5 copies of that, right?
Yep.
You know, if I get 0 requests for an album and I thought maybe I should get it, maybe I'll back off from getting it. You know, and then people send me, I got probably a dozen replies on the Facebook post. I probably got another half dozen Facebook messages with just requests. I got a few phone calls with requests, and I keep all my notes
And see what.
and see what they think. And I watch a couple podcasts of record stores. I keep up
Okay.
on them. There's some record store ones out there. A couple guys I follow, and they go through the list too. And you know, I found a jazz list for a guy who knows more about jazz than I
Sure.
do, and a heavy
Well,
metal
what's your
list.
specialty then?
What's
As
my
for-
special?
for genre? Rock and roll?
Yeah, my person. I'm a classic rock guy.
Sure.
I'm much more rounded now, especially in the last 4 years. But I grew up with classic
No,
rock.
I think the Stones are probably one of your favorite. Is
Definitely, they're one of my favorite, but only because they're so great. I
They are.
kind of look at my favorites as who have I seen the most.
That? Okay, we're going to talk about some of that.
Okay,
a
later?
Little bit. We
Okay,
are. I don't
okay.
want to.
Yeah.
Record store day.
Yes.
Awesome. Talked about that. And then if you've got, so say you order too much of one or whatever, and you have overstock, you keep that and just sell it throughout the year.
Yeah, I've got a cabinet right behind you, actually, that it has past RSD.
Oh, yeah.
A past RSD tag. And I just sold 2 of them the other day, a couple
Nice.
RSD albums.
I imagine too, because you're all buddies with all the different stores. If one of their customers wants something and they don't have it, they can refer you over here, or you.
We
can,
do all the time, especially record store day, you know, not early in the morning, but if it's 1 o'clock now and I've sold all 5 copies of my Grateful Dead box set, you know, and you want one, I'll call the other stores. I'll say, hey,
Sure.
let me call Audiophils if he's got one. I'll ask him, you know, again, he can't
Can't
hold
hold
it,
it, but
but
you
you
at
don't
least
want to
know.
drive there to not, you know, to be wrong. And we could call a couple people for you. And yeah, we've got a group chat on Facebook Messenger
Oh,
for
nice.
us. Yeah, we stay in touch pretty well.
Nice. So, how many customers typically come in, and how do the sales of record store day relate to, say, one of your average days?
It's like Christmas on steroids.
Really?
Yeah. We had 220 transactions last year on
Okay.
Record Store Day. We spend a lot on Record Store Day.
Sure.
It's a,
Well,
it's
it's
a
a big deal.
substantial investment. We do 3 musical acts. We bring in the food truck. But it'll be our biggest day. I mean, we have steadily gone up each year in what we've spent on it, what our investment is on our records. I mean, I've spent over $5,000 this year on records.
Wow.
For
Nice.
that day on those exclusive releases. So obviously I'm optimistic that I'm going to get a good return on that investment.
Sure. And well, I didn't mean to cut you off. Last year, I actually didn't make it last year to the opening. I came, at one point I was, but
Yeah.
Corinne and Holden were here early for the. No, maybe I was here. Anyway, I heard that people are lining up.
Yes.
Like really early, like
Yes.
down the plaza.
Yeah, we had, for last year's Record Store Day, we had about 52,
50.
53 people waiting in line.
Wow. I mean, that's great. That's fantastic. But
We let them in 10 at a time. We bring
Sure.
them in through the back door in this room.
you have a.
Yeah, and I
system
have
and-
somebody at the door, and we get 10 in. You know, he'll watch 3 or 4, he'll let 2 or 3 more in. And we try and keep a little controlled chaos about it.
Sure.
Try and, you know, not let too many people in. Hopefully they funnel into here, and we'll have music going on at 10 o'clock. Young man named Holden Garcia will be playing at 10
That's
a.m.
right. We're going to talk about that very soon.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Right.
So we'll have plenty of reason to stick around too after you make your purchase. You know, we'll have drink specials. You know, you want to sit down and have a drink and watch some music before you head over to the next store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll have we'll have sales on all of our other used media. We will raffle off. Last year, Taylor Swift was one of the bigger releases.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I raffled.
she's- oh, I love
I
Taylor.
raffled off one of her albums. You know, just $5 raffle ticket. You know, and then and we'll
Sure.
do free raffles just for showing up.
Yeah.
We'll enter it. We give away usually like $5 $20 gift cards. So if you buy anything, you get entered into our raffle to win a free gift card. And so we do a lot of different things.
Yep. And other stores do that too. Actually, I think last year they went to a couple different stores as well,
Yeah.
and they won one of the raffles at one of the stores.
Awesome.
Or maybe that was for the crawl. I don't remember what they were doing. Sometimes they just do their thing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And,
We love raffles. Record stores love to
Yeah.
do giveaways and raffles. It's a
Right.
great tool.
Am I still good here, Ken? I bumped my level still okay? Oh, yeah. All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
So the big question, well, not the big question, but a big question is, what are you doing this year to celebrate?
Okay, we make it a party, and we make the party last all day. We typically open at noon, but Record Store Day we open at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Okay, and we have Rickabenny's food truck,
Oh,
which
nice.
if you're a White Sox fan or a South Sider native at all, you'd be familiar with Rickabenny's.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're not familiar with Rickabenny's, go to Google and Google the best sandwich in Illinois, and it will come up, their breaded steak sandwich.
Wow.
It'll be good. They'll be here 10 to 5, they're going to be here. So and they'll be parked right out in front. We will have music at 10 a.m. with, like we spoke about earlier, Holden. Will be very entertaining. He's great, and I'm not just saying that because you're sitting in my shop. He's great. He'll play 10 to 12. At 2 o'clock, we will have the School of Rock Plainfield, which is more youngsters that are just unbelievably
a dozen
talented.
or so, 10 or 12.
Yeah, and they rotate in and out. They usually bring exactly, 10 to 12 kids, and 4 to 5 of them will go up on the stage for a song or two, and they'll switch instruments. You'll sing, you'll play bass, you'll play drums or guitar.
They rock out too.
Oh,
We were a couple years ago when Holden's been very fortunate, and thank you for the last 3 years now, performing at some point Record Store Day. He loves it. We love coming here. And our first year, he performed right after School of Rocks. We came early to catch them, and they were rocking.
Oh, they rock.
They loud.
Yeah, they're
loud, but they were rocking.
I have to warn the neighbors because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so everybody around me is open. I'm like, all right, School of Rock's going to be here tomorrow, from 2 to 4. It's going to be loud.
But you had a full house and all the parents in there, and everyone's having a good time.
Yeah,
There was a
they
party
draw.
and-
They bring people.
Yeah.
It's a big party, yeah.
Absolutely. So then School of Rock at 2 o'clock, and then
2 to 4.
Saturday night.
Yes. The headliner of the evening is the Simple Remedy duo. It's going to be a duo show. They are a full band. They're a great local band. They're well known. They play in the city. They play all over, really. And we're fortunate to get them here once or twice a year. And they should be a pretty good draw. And Laura's wonderful. Eddie plays guitar and sings. Laura sings. They'll play a good chunk of cover songs, but a good handful of originals too, and their originals are really good. And as you know, we always encourage the original music, and we're very fortunate to have a lot of very talented musicians who are really strong at playing their own original music right now.
Absolutely. And I haven't seen them as a group. I've seen Laura before. And
Okay.
I've seen her. She's fantastic.
Yes.
I don't know him, but
yeah.
I would love to catch them sometime. Unfortunately, we've got something else that night.
Yeah,
but
you can't be here all day.
I
You
know.
can't, I'll be here 12 hours. You guys
you
don't have
will.
to.
Right, right. But we will catch them sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, so when do you recommend that people get here to ensure they get their favorites? You said last year 50 people lined up.
Yeah, so it depends
We
on
open
what
at
you
10,
want.
So
It depends on what you want, right? So I'm gonna I'll let people know what albums made it here
on Facebook.
on Facebook with my videos. If you follow me at all, you've seen them before. As far as how many copies I had, you could always call to ask. How bad do you want it? Like I said, the Gracie Abrams, the Charlie XC, XCX, CXX, something like that.
XCX, I think.
XCX, I think.
could
Okay,
ask somebody
showing our
younger
age.
than
We're
me.
showing our
We
age a
are.
little bit. Those will go quick. The younger group of people are usually the ones that are willing to get up here and get in line at 7 a.m. I mean, when Taylor Swift has a release, we had 10 people here before 7 a.m. for her last
Really?
release. Yeah.
That early?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'd say as early as 7 a.m. if you really, really want it. If you're looking for something a little more obscure, like the
Jeff Bridges.
the Jeff Bridges, you probably don't have to be in line.
Okay.
I didn't get any requests for it, so you probably don't have to be in line for it. So I guess it depends on how much you really want it.
Okay.
At some point in the morning, I will get here early to pass out numbers to the people in line.
Sure.
So that they can go back and wait in their cars if it's
I was wondering, hopefully
inclement.
it's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, usually I get here by like 7:30 or so, and then I'll kind of stick around, and they'll come up to the door, and I'll give them tickets and send them back to their
sure.
vehicles.
But this is Chicagoland, so
Yeah.
it might snow and be 70 degrees all in one day.
All in one day, easy. Yeah,
Which happened, I think, like last week or something.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like,
it was.
ugh.
they bundle up pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I remember last year because Harmony, Jolija, and Holden all played that morning.
Okay,
An
yeah.
hour. And we came in there, they were like getting dirty looks from people.
Yeah.
Because we were coming in and we're like, no, we're not here to buy.
We're not buying
We're here to
anything.
music. And
Oh,
if we were
yeah.
going to buy, we'd be out there with all of you. And
Yeah.
But no, maybe not dirty looks, but certainly some side eyes.
So yeah,
Like, what are you
I'm
doing
sure.
getting in there?
They're walking right in there.
Yep. So other than getting here early, are there any tips for someone to make the most of this event?
Oh, I would say to go to multiple record stores. I'm such a bad capitalist, but go to multiple record stores. Really, see a few of them. Enjoy
Well,
the day.
you're a music lover first,
Yes, I am.
and so that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. I'll be who I am. It's fine. But yeah, I would see more than one record store for sure. You know, get more of the experience. Go online, check out their Facebook sites, because a lot of them will have live music. I know Paul Rose is doing DJ sets.
Oh, nice.
And not our thing, but it's somebody's thing.
But they're doing something though. They're
Yeah,
not just,
Every record store does something unique. They'll have raffles, sales. You know, maybe one acoustic guitarist when they're opening. I think Audiophils usually does music right when he opens too.
A couple years ago, you had a radio.
Yeah, we had 95.9 The River here a
Which was
couple
awesome.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We did live broadcasts. Yeah, so look around. Go on their websites, go on their Facebook pages and see what they're doing. If you're not close enough to my record store, go to a different record store. Find one and check it out in the day and buy something. Have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, will you be some of the stuff that you know is really popular? Will you be posting that on Facebook to say, "Hey, sorry, people, you wanted the Stones, I just sold out"? Or
No,
just- you probably don't have time.
We don't have
actually.
time,
That's
Daniel.
yeah.
I mean, at least not till, if we open at 10, we won't breathe until the
Yeah.
School of Rock is done.
That'd
playing,
be like
pretty
4
much.
o'clock or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
And then I'll pick up the phone. And, I mean, a couple years ago, one of our regulars, Dave, was sitting at the bar having his Bloody Mary, and I just gave him the phone. I'm like, answer the phone, Dave, and tell him it's sold out. And I think whatever it was, Taylor Swift or whatever, it wouldn't stop ringing. Do you
Well,
have the
yeah,
Taylor Swift? Do
because
you have the Taylor Swift? I'm like, it's gone. I'm like, Dave, you want the phone? He's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, took care of that.
Okay. And so we talked about Record Store Day.
Yes.
And now I would love to talk about Black Dog Vinyl Cafe itself.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're always good to talk about that.
Yeah.
And so let's just dig right in.
Sure.
So where did you get the idea for the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe?
You know, it was a culmination of just brainstorming business ideas.
Okay.
I worked in warehouses for 30 years.
Okay.
That time had passed, you know, and I was looking for something else to do. I was an assistant manager over at the Ace Hardware on Lockport Street downtown, and
Okay.
kind of just, I don't know what I want to do now. And told my wife I'd like to open up a business. She's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I have no idea, but I'd like to try and run something.
Sure.
So we started brainstorming, and she came up with a bunch of good ideas that sounded like really hard work. and I stayed away from those. And then one morning she said, well, how about a record store? You know, I read an article, records are coming back.
Yeah.
You love music. We go to all these concerts. And I'm like, is it coming back? I mean, what kind of record store? Am I going to be like in a little 500 square foot office that smells like a musty basement? I'm like, I don't know if that's what I want to do. I love music. So we kind of went away from it. And about a week later, she called me into her office and said, you know, I've been Googling record stores. And look at some of these record stores. Mm-hmm. Look at this one in Nashville. Look at this one in Indiana. Look at this one in London. Look at this one in Paris. And she's like, you know, I go to Barnes & Noble. They've got a Starbucks inside Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
And people grab their coffee and they read their books. What if we had a record store and we had a coffee shop and people could drink their coffee and they could pick out their albums and put their albums on or shop for
It's
albums?
a throwback to some of the old record store days of the past.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And then, you know, we found the one in Nashville that's connected to a brewery. She's like, you know, maybe we could get a liquor license and you could serve some beer. I'm like, okay, now we're doing some things. And she's like, you know, and if we find a big enough spot, you know, you could do, you know, some weekend music. And it was really pretty much all Kathy just kept riffing on the idea.
Every great idea was from Kathy.
Pretty much, yes.
That tracks.
Yeah, it does track.
Not to diminish you.
No, I don't take it that way at all.
She's great.
She
at
does
what
all
she
the drinks, the cocktails. She comes up with all the latte menu. She comes up with all the recipes. Yeah, no, she's the brains behind it.
So then, I mean, she came up with the Italian sodas.
Yes.
Been really digging those, especially the orange.
Yeah,
the
people are
orange
liking
cream.
them a lot.
Yeah, those are really good. So okay, so what does the name mean? I think I know, but
Well, there's really a couple meanings to it. As once we decide we're going to do this, well, we need a name. So just again brainstorming, and I kind of came up with this. This was my one good idea, I guess, if it was a good idea. But I came up with Black Dog Vinyl Cafe, and she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, Led Zeppelin 4 is one of the greatest albums ever. The first song on it is Black Dog." I go, everybody knows it. Everybody knows the riff. Everybody knows the chorus.
well, in case they don't know, do you want to hum a few bars?
No,
Or
I
you
don't. No,
All right.
you see, you're trying to trick me into being musical.
I
We're not going
am.
to do that. We're not
You're
going to
too
do that.
clever for that. I thought I'd have to have Kathy here for the cleverness. but
Yes, and
you're
then
doing
on the
fine.
flip side of the Led Zeppelin it's a black dog, right? Did you have a black dog when you were a kid? If you didn't, your grandma
no.
did or your neighbor did.
Somebody did. We did. We had like a white beige dog, but
Right?
yes.
But to me, that's kind of like family, kind of like
Yeah.
coming together, everybody playing in the yard with a dog, and we wanted to be a family-friendly place.
Okay.
So we felt like that was a good, if you didn't have a black dog, maybe grandma did.
Sure.
Or Joey next door had a black dog, and you guys played in the backyard with it all the time. Who doesn't love a black dog, right?
No, that's true.
I mean, it kind of fit into it. And then the Vinyl Cafe, that was me trying to be clever with vinyl for records and cafe. And I still get emails with people looking for vinyl window sidings and
Oh,
stuff.
I've never thought
and
about
vinyl
that.
siding. And we get all kinds of emails. It's like, no, we don't sell vinyl
Oh,
siding.
that's funny.
No.
It never occurred to me. I figured Vinyl Cafe, it's pretty,
When you know, it's easy. But if you don't know,
Yeah.
it can be anything. It's like,
I figured the Black Dog came from the Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And it's interesting your your take on the family growing up and the dog.
Yeah.
And that's, wow, okay, I learned something.
yeah, we have a black dog. So,
Yeah.
and it was just like, the black dog, that's her picture.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's actually your
That's
dog?
her down dog, yep.
What's her name?
Holly.
Holly.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so are you surprised by any record buying trends? Like, what moves, what doesn't move, and I really thought this would go. And
Yeah,
that went, and-
so like I said earlier, I'm older, so and the kids are buying stuff, and the new releases are taking off. So it's not always as easy for me to identify that quickly. What's going to be the next hottest thing? I've got 3 daughters who help out, and the young
Sure.
ladies who
Well,
work here.
what are their ages?
30. Oh, geez, you're going to get me in trouble. 25 and 23.
Okay,
That sounds right to me.
so adults.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're
Okay.
all adults. We're empty nesters. They're all successful, contributing adults.
Nice.
Which we're very happy and proud of. So they'll tell me, like Gracie Abrams, my daughter told me about. She's like, what you're doing in record store day, you better order a bunch of those. And then,
They're gonna go.
last week, Gracie Abrams, she told me that a month and a half ago. Last week, Gracie Abrams was on Saturday Night Live. What do I know?
Saw that.
Yeah.
She was great.
Yeah, she was great. So what do I know? So I need that help. And that ties in with the other thing about records and trends. When we opened up, we sold pretty much exclusively used vinyl. Now, with the younger people getting involved, everybody's repressing it. Every album, every new music that comes out, from Taylor Swift to Beach Bunny to Charlie XC, they're all putting them on vinyl
I was
now.
surprised about that because you're right. I saw there are a lot of used records, well-loved records over the years,
Yeah.
and then maybe a few gimmicky ones here and there. But you're right. I see more and more records all over the place.
Yeah. So, and that's where I'm trying to keep up. I mean, I can tell you anything about the 50s through the 2000s records, what's going to sell, what's not going to sell. What's been released in the last 6 months, I'm sometimes a week or 2 behind, unfortunately.
Well, I'm curious. And apparently, your daughter already knows this, but when people buy stuff, you're like, you know what? I bet in a few months this person's going to be big just based on what the people are buying. And
Yeah, and you can definitely see that too, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so here's the big question for this segment. I'm very interested in your answer. So the big question I've heard people ask is why vinyl records versus digital media, like MP3 or iPod.
I feel like I've got a pretty good answer.
Please.
And it has really nothing to do with the quality of either source.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that where we're at in the world and after the pandemic, I think people were really happy to do something that's interactive again.
Interesting. Okay.
So everything about playing a record is work.
It is
You got-
tangible and hands-on.
Yeah, you've got to stand up. You've got to walk over to the turntable. You've got to take your record out of the sleeve. You got to take it out of the secondary sleeve, put it on, turn it on. 15 minutes later, you got to turn it over again. You got to go back and do it all over again. and then you're going to do it again and again. But possibly you're going to do that with somebody else.
Sure.
Because you're going to do it in the house that you live in with your family.
I won't, because they don't want to listen to what I want to listen to, but
that's how you
other
share.
people would.
But that's how you share it. So what we do is I pick a record, Kathy picks a record.
Yeah?
I pick a record, Kathy picks a record. It's a great couples hobby. It's very interactive. It's very hands-on. Everything we do now is right here in our hand. Our phone is, man, Star Trek had it right when they said it in the 70s, that this is going to be everything, you know? And it really is. But it's just you, and it's just, you're not sharing anything. There's no, you know, everybody got locked down in our houses. We couldn't do anything. I mean, I remember when I was a kid grabbing records and going over to my neighbor's house with 3 other friends, and we all had our records, and we would take turns playing them. It was so interactive. It was so much fun. You know, I don't think kids today ever got to experience things like that. And after the pandemic, I think people were looking for things to do that were real and tangible.
That is a fantastic take on this, because the way I've always heard, they sound better, but I'm not enough of an audiophile that I could tell the difference.
Me neither, in all honesty, and I own a record store.
But I know that this is one of the albums you got here.
Yes.
I always thought these album covers, it's art.
Oh yeah, they're
it's
great.
It's beautiful. It's not every album cover is a work of art, but there are a lot of them that are, and they tell a story, and they, I know a lot of people will frame them and put them up on their walls.
Oh yeah.
And, so between the two, but that's very interesting about making it a communal experience.
Yeah, I really feel like that's a real part of it. You know, from my experience and from my conversations with customers and people coming in, and I see so many older couples coming in and shopping records together. I mean, the older couples and the kids who are 17 to 21 are like this big surge right now, I see.
Well, and I know we've been here for different events. We see the people that come in and browse, buy some records, and go. And sometimes they'll stay for some music, but and it's interesting to see the demographics. It's like, oh,
who would have thought, right? A lot of times, for sure.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like maybe this is an idea for Kathy. I kind of feel like what you just said. Maybe there's some like marriage counseling service you guys can set up for people that can be like, you're in some trouble, we'll get some
Go buy some records, everything will be good.
We'll give you some recommendations, it'll fix all your problems.
We're that easy, right? Yeah. But no, I love talking to couples when they come in. I really do, yeah.
Nice. Well, you're pretty chatty anyway. And
yeah, I am.
But I've got that problem too. So, so I'll accept that answer. That's a great answer. It does remind me back, you know, when records really first came out was probably, or 50s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
When it really got big. And people would go to your record store, and you'd be there with friends, and you'd have the booths, and you'd be talking to people. It's a very social experience.
Yes.
So yeah, that's interesting. I always heard of it as it's the quality.
There's and I hear that too.
That you can't get from a digital recording. I've got tinnitus.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to hear the
highs and the lows. You know, and I think you can, but I think there are also fantastic compact discs that sound unbelievably good. You know what I mean? I think, again, it goes all back to the pressings and was it done right? Was it not done right?
That's fair. Well, same with discs, too. You get bad, you know, bad recordings, bad transfers.
Yeah, anything can happen. I really think the biggest part of it is that it's a communal experience. It's interactive.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's nice.
Good.
That's nice.
Good. I'll stick with it then.
Okay. Okay, so although you sell records, I mean, that's in the name.
Yes.
What else do? You do so much more than that. And we kind of talked about this earlier, but so what else do you do?
So as far as our events, our music is what really drives the business, the live music. We do 2 open mics per month, the first and third Friday of the month. We do 2 songwriter showcases, the first and third Thursday of the month, which is local artists get to expand a little bit more than the open mic, and we certainly encourage original music at the songwriter showcase. We want to hear what you've written. They usually get, half hour, 45 minutes to get that 6 or 8 songs out, get a little, flush it out a little
Holden's
bit.
done that a couple of times with.
So it's a neat experience. So we do 2 of those a month. We just recently started Name That Tune Rock and Roll Trivia, which has really done well. We do that the second Thursday of the month. Corinne,
second Thursday of the month.
You know that she got you.
Well, we saw it listed and we missed it.
Yeah.
And we want to go to that.
Yeah, we've had good turnouts. We've done 3 of them now, I think, and we've had good turnouts all 3 times. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, Holden really, again, I don't want to talk about him, but we'll watch YouTube different trivia things, and he's like answering, he's like beating us on music. Yeah. I'm like, we got a ringer.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
love
come.
trivia.
Maybe
we
we'll,
love trivia.
well, yeah, next one we're gonna try and be there.
All right, cool,
So,
cool. We do a jazz jam the last Thursday of the month.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, which has been fun. Then we do, you've seen it, we do a lot of acoustical music, duos and trios, solo artists. We'll do a few band shows. Every couple months somebody will talk me into bringing their band in, and it's fun, but it's loud and it's a lot, the band shows.
Yeah.
I prefer, at first I thought I wanted to do more band shows, and I started doing some band shows. I was like,
Well, it's
I
an
kinda
intimate
Yeah,
setting, and
yeah.
so you get too much, it can get overwhelming.
It gets loud in here.
Yeah.
It gets real loud in here. The acoustics in here are really good, but the bands get loud.
Yeah.
But I think I got another one in June, which is my first one of the year this year. So I'm getting better at saying no to people sometimes, yeah.
Could you ever go to the parking lot and do a setup outside little concert thingy, or is that?
It's been thought about, and it hasn't been said no to, but it would require some things.
Some permits
Yeah,
probably,
we're looking into doing some kind of music fest here in August, so we'll see how that goes and how that blossoms. We just started talking about it.
Okay.
We just picked a couple days. Somebody reached out to me about organizing it, and so we just settled on a couple days, and we'll see. We'll see how big it gets.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I've also seen sometimes people come in here and have little celebrations.
Oh yeah.
Our friend Joe Leja a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I lose track.
Last month, middle of February. he did
February. It was his birthday,
Yeah.
and his sister came out. Lovely lady. She organized it, and they had a nice time. And
Oh yeah.
him and a bunch of friends were performing, and
Oh,
it
sure.
was a good show.
Yeah, we do a lot of different events. We rent out. We've done graduation parties, retirement parties, birthday parties.
Holidays. You've had some holiday corporate parties.
Yeah, we've done corporate parties. They bring Santa Claus in for pictures with the kids and stuff.
It's really a community place to do lots of things.
Yeah, I mean, we've done YMCA basketball team awards here.
Oh, nice.
Guy, customer, coach my son's YMCA team. Can we do our awards there after our last game? Yeah, come on
why
in
not?
Saturday at 2 o'clock on the stage. You bring them all up there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and this is well built for it. I know I haven't said this to you yet, but Holden's working on his first official album, and when he releases it, he wants to have a release party.
Sure.
And I was going to talk to you about, you'll come in on Saturday afternoon when it's not crazy. And
Yeah.
figure something out if
Yeah,
that's
for
okay.
sure. Yeah, of course we will.
So you heard it. It's on tape.
It's on tape.
Oh, man. Okay, so you really do so much more. The records are great,
Yeah.
and that's a big part of it.
Sure.
The cafe is great, and that's a big part of it. And honestly, too, coming in a place like this, if you want to have a drink, this is a nice place to have a drink. It's not a bar. It's not loud. It's not, sometimes you get some weird elements at some bars.
Yeah.
Just people acting stupid. You don't get that here.
No.
You get a nice, more mellow, chill, everyone's cool, and you can just enjoy music. And
Yeah, we like to say we're the anti-bar bar.
yeah, I can completely see that. But you
We've
can
got
still get a
liquor.
good
We've got
drink,
liquor,
though.
so we're officially a bar.
Yeah.
But we're not what you're going to find in most bars.
Right, and you do sell some local people's.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've got jewelry. We've from a local lady. We've got Grace's Gnomes.
Grace
Corinne's
is the
photos.
unofficial sponsor of this podcast.
There you go.
Grace's Gnomes.
Yeah, we love the family. Really good people. And I've got all the local musicians. We sell their CDs for them or their albums if they have them.
You've even got a book up there.
Yeah, I've got 3 books up there now.
3 books up there.
I've got 3 different local authors' books up there right now. So yeah, our table gets full with local people. If you got something and we can help out, we're here for you. You know?
If you're looking for some nice merch, you want to support the people around here and the nice, interesting things, come on out, check out the merch table. You're gonna find some cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the live music portion of it,
Yeah.
because that is a big
Oh,
big part of it. So as someone who does a lot of bookings, what do you look for in a performer?
So doing bookings is crazy
I can imagine.
because so many people want to play.
Yeah.
And we get so many emails. It's just so hard. So what we've kind of come to over the past year or 2 years is that if you haven't played here before and I don't know you, I need you to come to an open mic or a songwriters round.
Absolutely.
And that way it's kind of like an unofficial tryout. Because I get a dozen emails, phone calls a week. And they all send me a video clip. And they're
Right.
all great video clips.
Right. It's hard to tell.
It's
if
hard to
everyone's-
tell who's good, who's bad. You had a great crowd. Everything was working right for you. That's great. But do you fit my vibe? So it's good if I can see you on the stage. It helps a lot. And honestly, the people who play here are kind of my vibe. It's, it kind of reflects what I like in music. Like I mentioned earlier, we don't do DJ stuff here.
Right.
It's just not my vibe.
You don't do karaoke stuff.
No,
here.
we don't do karaoke stuff here either. It's not my vibe.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
but
no, it's
just
great.
not
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. And if I was in the city, I might do a karaoke, but I wouldn't do one on my stage.
Right.
But, I like the Americana music a lot. So a lot of what you'll see on my stage is that genre, but not necessarily. I mean, as you're well aware of Lorenzo D. Lorenzo is a straight up cover guy.
But he does all genre, all decades.
All decades. He brings you through the decades. He's a tremendously entertaining gentleman.
He's your second?
He's my cousin's cousin. So
Cousin's cousin.
We're Italian, so we're family. What am I going to do? I can't lose him now.
Yep.
Yeah.
No matter how much you
no, so we've got 3 or 4 people that are pretty much strictly cover artists, and I get them in here once or twice a month to make sure, because people like the cover music. But then the rest of the artists, I encourage them to play their original music. With always the reminder that throw in some covers, because
people like to hear
people
what
like
they know.
covers, and you'll draw them in. If they start singing along with the Fleetwood Mac song and you roll into your own song next, they might keep right on along singing along with you.
Sure.
It kind of helps them out. Especially the first 2 or 3 times you're here, I tell people.
I imagine people have a following too.
Oh, yeah.
They come in and they're going to bring in some of their people that want to see them perform live. And
yes, they bring in their following that follows them, and we have like a following for each performer who plays here, per se, almost.
Yeah.
Where I see the same people. When Colleen Wiles here, I see the same people. When
Sure.
Jason Benefield's here, I see the same people. When Michael Rawls is here, I see the same group of people. And there's always overlap and interweave, but there's always that 5 or 6 people that, Colleen Wiles playing tonight, them 6 or 7 people are going to be here.
right, Lorenzo plays. You know
Yeah.
that he's going to have.
Yeah,
these
you know who's coming for Lorenzo. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, they've got their, what Lorenzo had his roadie tags a couple years ago. I forgot what you guys called yourselves, but yeah, they gave themselves a little name.
Well, he did tell me that. He's told me this many times. I think he was the first performer
Yes.
you've had
yeah.
on the stage.
Yeah,
Which
back
is-
when the stage was 4 feet by 2 feet.
Oh, it's smaller than this one?
Oh yeah, it's 10 feet by 10 now. I've expanded it twice.
Oh, I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I've expanded it twice.
When's the last time you expanded it?
Last year I put the 2 feet on off the wall. It was 8 by 10, and I
Okay.
made it 10 by 10 last year.
'Cause we've been coming since September of 22, I want to say.
Yeah. So originally it was in the center of the room, and it
we
might
came
have been
after
4
that.
by 8. It might have been 4 by 8. It was probably one sheet of dry plywood. It was probably 4 by 8.
Wow.
And it was and we had it in the center of the room. Then eventually we moved it over there.
Nice. Well, now you've got a piano there too, a little
Yeah.
smaller piano, and it's
Yeah.
it's a nice stage.
Yeah, it's comfortable now.
Yes,
Yeah.
cozy,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then we kind of talked about the kind of music or genres or events you focus on, or things you like, the Americana rock,
Yeah.
and it's actually things I like too.
Yes.
So we got a lot of synergy here. That's not the right word, but whatever.
Whatever.
So what is your favorite part about owning and operating the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe?
The people I've met.
I could see that.
We met a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a job that we're in to get rich. It's a job we're in to meet people, to enjoy ourselves, to support people, definitely, to give people an outlet where they can go and be whoever they want to be, do whatever they want to do, within limits, do whatever they want to do.
But it's a family place. Yeah.
For sure. But to be yourself. And we've, the number one thing is the people we've met. We've met so many good people, so many people we'll call friends when this ends, and eventually everything ends eventually. And when it does, we'll have people that, we'll be close with because of this. And, getting to see somebody like Holden when he was 9, by the time he's done, by the time we're done, hopefully he'll be 2021,
Well, You're going to have, I've told him before that you're going to have a spot in his memoir someday. If he really makes it big, where you got to start at the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe.
I tell them all. I just told Harmony that. She told me she's going to play in Iowa. I go, when you get your first Grammy, make sure you mention me.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah.
You might not get a chapter.
Nah.
You're definitely going to get a mention.
Give me a shout out somewhere,
Absolutely. And Harmony's great.
Yeah.
Harmony Breeze will promote her all day long.
Yeah.
She is just fantastic. So conversely to your favorite parts, so what are some challenges you face, whether selling vinyl or booking performers, selling food? What's some of the
Look, food is challenging. Food, the margins on food are small.
Sure.
We're not a pizza joint. You know, our kitchen is very small. That's always been a big challenge for us, food. The other challenge is, you know, our location is a little rough. We're pushed back off the street so far.
Sure, people don't notice.
Yeah, you're going 45, 50 miles an hour. If you don't know we're back here, it's hard to discover we're back here. It would be nice if they put a light out there eventually, hopefully, as traffic increases.
That would be nice. There's times that I've seen some close calls with people.
I've seen a dozen accidents in the 4 years we've been here.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah. But it's a state route, so Plainfield has no control over whether there's a light there or not. You know, but yeah, location is a challenging, and, you know, as always, you know, dealing with village governments and regulations and
logistics
of owning and operating
sure.
are always challenging. Yeah, just the general logistics of making sure you don't run out of stuff, making sure you have everything you need.
The taxes are filed properly.
Yeah. I mean, just
permits.
A million things about being a business owner.
Sure. Okay.
You know, I do all this fun stuff, but you still got to crack open the folder and go through all the bills and make sure everybody's paid and make sure, like you said, the taxes got paid. Make sure, you know, that
well, I can understand
the place
that.
is clean in front. You know, just all the little things that, you know, I got a cool job, but it's still a job.
Yeah.
I still got to do all the other little things about it.
Yeah, that's
otherwise,
true.
You know, otherwise the place becomes a dump, and you know, I got a lot of stuff in here to keep clean.
Yeah.
You know, dust is dust. It's always something. But I mean, I unloaded trucks for 30 years.
You're not afraid to work hard.
No. This is a good gig. This is a good place to be. You know, and
well, I do want to shout out your food options.
Yeah, for sure.
Because for a while, when we first started coming, you had some nice food options.
Yes.
And then you guys took a break from food for a while.
Yeah.
And now they're back. The paninis are back. Well, they've
People
been
love
back
it.
for a while.
Yes, yeah.
And so
they've been back for a couple months now, and like I said, and we talked, I hit on that a little bit, that the margins are small, and I mean, we do all panini, so it's all basically lunch meat and fresh food. Mm-hmm. So if we don't sell enough of it in 2-3 days, it's gone, and we start again. But the sandwiches are good. People like them.
I like the Italian.
Yeah.
That's what I almost always get.
Yeah, the Italian stack, our Capri sandwich, people love. You know, so they're good, and they're quick. They're pretty quick to make. They're pretty easy. You know, and people do like them. And
it's not heavy food.
Yeah,
it's
and
good food for.
Since we don't have the hood and we don't have the deep fryer, it's been a good option for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And bigger parties, we always let them. You know, bigger party comes in and say, "Hey, can we grab pizzas?" We always say, "Yeah, go get yourself your pizzas." Yeah.
And we've had Holden's birthday parties here a couple of times.
Yeah.
This is his birthday concert. We didn't get one last year. We're too busy with stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we brought in a cake.
Yeah.
He performed, and
Yeah,
it was
for
a good
sure.
time. And so, last question in this segment: what are your long-term goals for the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe?
Yeah, I don't know that I have long-term goals, really. I mean, I'm 57 years old. I mean, I'll be 58 this year. So
I wasn't going to ask.
I'd like to do, you know, a few more years. My long-term goals is for this to be my last job before I retire.
Sure. Well, I kind of feel like even if you retired, you could still kind of be involved and have the fun aspects and have someone else run take care of the challenging stuff.
Yeah, that would be ideal. You know, it would be real nice for this to live after I was done with it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you built something really. You and Kathy built something really special here.
Yeah, so that would be nice. You know, if I could turn it over to somebody, if something like that would be possible, that would be outstanding. But in the meantime, we just want to keep doing what we're doing. You know, bring good people in who play good music, who appreciate our philosophies and our business, and who just want to uplift other people. You know, that's what it's really all about.
And
you know,
you do it well.
Well, thank you.
You do it well.
Try.
We've been regulars now for 2.5 years, and you know we don't just do the open mics. We come to other things.
Yeah,
we
sure
perform some, and this is where we like to be. This is where we like having Holden be.
Yeah.
And so we've been to lots of places, and we say this is our home base.
We like
for
that.
Anything we do, and we always shout you out on the podcasts, and
we appreciate that very much.
That. Okay, so that was the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe. How you doing? You still?
I'm good.
time
I'm
for a
hanging
few
in
more
there.
Questions? Ken, we still okay? Okay, let me get a sip of water.
Yeah, we'll take some water.
This is where I get into trouble. I get long-winded. So we talked about the quick info. We talked about Record Store Day, a huge event.
Yes.
We talked about the Black Dog Vinyl Cafe, which is very near and dear to many of us. And now we like to talk about you,
All right.
getting to know you.
Sure.
What makes you tick?
Yeah.
What makes you talk? Although you don't do TikTok. But,
No, I don't do no TikTok.
We'll go through these and we'll have a little fun. And
Okay, yeah,
hopefully,
sure.
we won't unearth anything too crazy.
You said it's a family show, right? So
It's
I'll
a
watch
family
my
show.
answers.
It is a family show, but we have fun with it. And so first question, again, a lot of these questions we ask performers, so I kind of changed it up a little bit. Some of them we ask everybody. We'll get, you're like, well, that's a stupid question. I'm like, you know what, I ask everybody. So, but some of these we're going to ask you first. How many records do you own, and is there a goal in mind for how many you want?
I currently have over 800 records.
Your
at home.
personal, not here, but your
It's
personal
my personal collection, and a funny story about that. When we opened up, we mentioned it was during the pandemic. So we were planning on it for about 9 months, and we were building our collection. Well, pandemic hit, and it made it hard to get to the estate sales and flea markets and stuff.
Yep.
So I felt short. So I had my music collection was 1,200 CDs and 70 records.
Okay.
I put all 70 records into the store, and I put 1,000 of my 1,200 CDs into the store.
Really?
Yeah. I've got 68 of the 70 records back. I'm still missing 2 of them.
Okay. Can you get those two from maybe one of the other record stores? Maybe?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come in here. That's kind of how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, do I have a goal? No, I should probably stop because there's just too many of them. I mean, our house, we downsized recently. Our house is records and plants.
Okay.
We've got a nice little ranch house. We love it. One room is all records. The other room is there's plants and records.
Hang stuff on the wall, on the like some of the really cool.
No, I
Frame
don't.
them
No, I haven't done that yet. I've got some frame stuff hanging in the garage, but I haven't put much up on the walls in the house. We kind of keep that our family pictures and stuff.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, I keep imagining.
Well, because my records are all in the front room. It's a 2-bedroom house, and we had a spare bedroom, so I don't have a record room per se.
Oh, okay.
A room that's dedicated to it where I could just. The entertainment center is my record cabinet.
Sure.
Well,
I always kind of imagine there was that John Cusack movie.
High Fidelity, I think.
High Fidelity.
Yeah.
He's got the records. He's going. So, do you sort your records by like alphabetically or by genre or where
Yes,
you were at
and
in
yes.
life when this happened?
I do it alphabetically by genre.
Okay. So your rock.
My
country,
rock, yeah, I got
jazz,
all my rock, and I got a country section, and I got a jazz section, I got a big blues section.
Okay.
I've got a small reggae section, and I've got a various artists soundtrack section.
Okay. Okay. Nice. I think I do something similar. I got a lot of CDs.
Okay, yeah.
Over the years, just but okay.
It makes it easier because if I want some Motown, I can go to all the Motown and
Sure.
this is what I want. You know what I mean? As opposed to where's some Supremes, where's some Temptations, where's it's all right there, and I can just yep, that's the one.
There you go. That's funny you say about the records. In our house, it's musical instruments, specifically for Holden and Corinne too. She's got a lot of stuff too. Of course, I got a lot of crap too. So.
We all do.
Yep. But not enough to open a store, although maybe a music store. But anyway, so another thing I've kind of heard about you, I've heard a lot about you, Mike, but another thing I heard about you is you've attended a lot of concerts over the years.
Yes.
Like 1,000 plus? Is
Possibly.
that what I heard?
Yeah, I would think that's a fair number.
1,000 plus. So what were some of the most memorable ones?
Some of the most memorable ones. Jerry Garcia's last concert in 1995 at Soldier Field. Yes. I've seen a few last concerts.
Really?
Well,
Maybe we should start going to some of those.
some of them. So Jerry Garcia, I saw his last concert in 95. The keyboard player with the Dead in 1990 was Brent Midland. He played his last concert at Tinley Park.
Oh, was it the World back then?
Yeah, it might. Yeah, the World probably. Yeah. So I saw those two. I saw Taylor Hawkins' last USA concert.
Okay.
Before they went to South America, and then he died after the next concert. I saw his last concert in Arizona at a music festival. Those were some, I guess kind of makes them memorable for that.
Sure.
Some really fun concerts. Tom Petty's side shoot band is called Mudcrutch.
Oh,
He did two albums. He did 2 albums with them, and he did them in the late '90s. And basically, it was a couple guys from the Heartbreakers, and then like 3 high school buddies. And they basically did the album so the high school buddies could get some money.
Sure.
And then he brought the band to the to the Riviera Theater, and Tom was playing bass, and I was about 12 feet away from him.
Oh, nice.
So that was a cool one. I love the club shows now. When I was a kid, I liked the big concerts. Now we like the club shows. Are a lot more fun. Yeah, it seems a lot more fun. But I mean, Guns N' Roses at Soldier Field was great.
How many people at Soldier Field? 30,000? More? Less?
Probably 40.
40,000?
Yeah, with the field, I would think 40 with the field. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of good stuff. I've seen the Grateful Dead and the Grateful Dead offshoots the most.
Sure.
I've seen them just boatloads of times.
Well, how about follow up to that question really quick? What's the coolest concert venue that you were at? You're like, whoa, this is.
Well, I tell you the one I love the most is
Sure.
the Chicago Theater. I would go see a puppet show at the Chicago Theater.
The one downtown Chicago,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, right on Lake and on
I know where it's at, but yeah.
on
Downtown.
State and Lake. It's
Okay.
right in the theater district. Really, I would see anybody there. It's so beautiful. Cool places. I don't like the ballparks. Wrigley Field is bad. Soldier Field is bad. The big acts go there, so you kind of have to go there. But the sound is never really what you want.
You can't see them probably as well.
No, you can't. And there's so many distractions and everything, all of that included. So locally, I mean, the Rialto Theater is nice.
I've never been to Rialto.
Check something out. Buddy Guy's going to be there in the next couple months.
Really, I need to go. Holden's coming to an age where he wants to go to more concerts.
Yeah.
Went to Vampire Weekend last year, CG5 the year before. They're going to go to OK Go later this year. Yeah. But I need to take him to places.
Yeah, Rialto's nice. It's a nice
check
little
it out.
place. Yeah, it's small, it's local, and it's beautiful inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would check them out. What is the craziest concert experience that you've had that you can talk about on a family show? Not that you've done anything crazy, but maybe crazy things have happened while you were there.
Yeah, there's been crazy things that happened. Me, my brother, my sister's boyfriend, who's now her husband, went to see The Who on their first reunion tour at Alpine Valley.
Okay.
So we get there, we tumble out of the car, we walk to our seats. Well, we walk to the lawn.
Yeah, I thought it was outside.
Yeah, it's out there. There's a mezzanine, but we had lawn seats, and we get to where we're gonna hang out. And I tell him I'm gonna go get a couple beers,
Sure.
and then I don't come back.
Okay.
So I went on a little walkabout, and I just
Check
met
it
some
out,
people, and I started talking to people over here, and just went to the other side, and all of a sudden the concert was over. So I went out the exit on the other side.
Oh.
So now I was completely on the other side of the venue, and I had to walk back around to find where we parked.
Okay.
So by the time I had gotten to where we had parked, they were gone.
Really?
Yeah, they were gone.
So they weren't worried that you were just like hurt in a ditch somewhere. They're like,
There's different
You gotta
versions.
ride.
There's different versions of what was going on between the three of them. There was a line of cars going out leaving the parking lot. So I just started knocking on windows and saying, going to Chicago? No. Went to the next car. Going to Chicago? Nope. After about 6 cars, I heard my sister screaming my name from way, like they were leaving without me. They were in line to go, but they were up there. So I finally caught up with them. So I didn't have to walk home from Wisconsin.
Oh,
it was
man.
close though. There was a little nervousness towards the end there.
What's up with that?
Yeah, especially after the first few people weren't giving me a ride. I was like, come on, man.
Well, you think they would actually come looking for you instead of just like getting in the car and leaving. But
Yeah, there's different.
So what year was this then? Because it's
I'd
gotta
say
be
91.
okay. So before cell phones are really a thing.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just call each
I
other.
might have had a pager. At
Right.
best, I probably had a pager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So if time and whatever is or time didn't matter, whatever, you could choose any concert that's ever happened at any time, anywhere. Which would it be? Like, I wish I could have been at this one.
So that's a tough one. Would I like to go back to relive a concert from when in my mind, I'm thinking, would I like to go back to relive a concert I went
Maybe.
to that maybe I was young and was overserved at and didn't remember enough? Or would it be something that, to see the Doors or Jimi Hendrix? I mean, I would have loved to seen the Doors.
Sure.
That would be really, really awesome. That probably, out of all the bands I didn't see, that would probably be the one that I would say, man, I would have loved to have done that. As far as a show that I wish I was, like now that I'm older, I don't drink as much at concerts. When you're young, it's just like, how many beers can we drink at this concert? And not remember half the show. Now I remember the shows because I don't do that
never
anymore.
that young.
Okay, I was that young. And there's a few that I wish I had better recall of. Roger Waters played solo right after Pink Floyd broke up, and Eric Clapton played guitar on the
Oh,
concert.
really? Nice.
And if I didn't have the ticket stub, I would not know I went to that show.
Oh, man.
But that's youth. Yeah, youth is wasted on the young.
And well, me, I've had different concert experience. I went to see Neil Diamond a couple of times.
That's
and
fun.
Billy Joel.
Kathy's seen Neil Diamond.
I love Neil Diamond.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I'll have to ask her something. I'll have to ask her sometime where she saw him.
Yeah, she took her mama.
The United Center?
I think so, yeah.
We might have been at that concert.
Possibly, yeah.
So it's about maybe 25 years ago, 30
Probably.
years
That
ago.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
But okay, fair enough. So concerts that you would like to remember.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the big one,
All right, we got a few more questions.
Okay,
here,
I'm
and then
here.
we're gonna- So, what are your top 3 favorite albums? Because you're a record guy. You have a record store. You know music.
Mm-hmm. I would say the Who Quadrophenia.
Okay.
I would say Rush Moving Pictures.
Okay.
And I would say, it changes every stinking day.
That's fair. I can see that.
Yeah, but I would probably say Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
But it could be Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood, Sex, Sugar Magic. And it could be Eric Clapton, 461 Ocean Boulevard, too.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just stop there. Those
We
were
could
some
probably
good
go
ones.
on for a while. So have you? I know that on some days you'll have the record player out and be
Yes.
playing. Have you ever done like a Mike's session where, hey guys, want to just come in or let people come in and host the music that's played for?
What we started doing at the end of this past fall was bring your own vinyl Sundays.
Yeah, bring your own vinyl. Yep.
Yeah, so that's been fun. We haven't done like a Mike's Pick kind of day or anything like that. We have talked about doing some more bring your own vinyl types of things.
Or come buy a vinyl and play it.
Yeah. Well, you can do that anytime. I mean, the record player is always there. It's right behind the counter.
I don't think I noticed it.
Yeah, it's just when I'm here we talked about it earlier, the interactiveness of records.
Yes.
And when they end every 15 minutes and you've got people everywhere, and how long is it going to take me to get music on again while I'm making this Italian soda and panini? So we tend to, during the days, the record player is utilized more. At night,
Not
when
as
there's a
much,
lot going on, not quite as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do people ever just come here to work? Like
Yeah. Yeah, we get some afternoon, some daytime, weekday.
just people that come sit and work?
Yeah,
We should-
work from home people.
We
Yeah.
should do that sometime. I
Yeah.
work from home, and sometimes Corinne works from home too, and sometimes she gets sick of me at home.
Yeah, no.
And so
We have that. We get that a lot.
Okay,
Not
okay.
as much as we should, but we get that. People come in. They'll come in for 2-3 hours with their laptop.
Yeah,
in the
that's what I'm
afternoon.
thinking. Come in for a
Yeah.
few hours, just
Yeah.
different change it. I might
Yeah.
do that sometime.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I also really noticed about this place and appreciate is, like right now, it's obviously quiet in here because we're doing this
Yeah.
podcast. But normally, there's always music playing all the time.
Always.
Always, all the time. Even like we do open mics, and if he's gonna take a break for a few minutes, they turn that music on.
Yeah.
And then when he's ready, they turn it off, So is that just something that?
It's just something we talk about as a staff, as a crew.
Yeah.
That there should always be music playing.
And there is.
And I encourage the baristas, bartenders to pick out your own music.
Mm-hmm. And
You know,
it's usually very good music that they've got
Yeah,
going on, and good playlists.
It helps us be a little more eclectic. Because if it was just my music, you'd all hear Grateful Dead 24 hours a day.
Fair enough.
I was in a Zach Bryant kick over the summer. I played a lot of Zach Bryant over the summer.
Nice.
The girls were getting tired of it.
Let's see. Is Mike gone? Click.
Click.
Okay, so some of these other questions we ask everybody, all our performers. when
Okay.
We do the getting to know you. So it's some of these are some of Ken's, I think, favorite ones as well. We'll get to one of them. So what is the best compliment you've ever received?
That I'm a man of the people.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. I like that.
I liked it, yeah.
And the person that gave you that compliment, was it something very special to you?
No,
or was
not really. It was a guy that I mentored in the warehouse when I was working at a warehouse.
Okay.
Just young guy was struggling a lot and couldn't catch on to the job and, just kind of helped them out. And then they were doing some things and I got a review and my manager mentioned that he had said this to my manager when he was getting a review about me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, kind of paying it forward, or
Yeah.
at least you're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Yes.
Okay, so what advice would you give yourself when you were first starting this place? Like the old Faceless song, "If I knew then what I know now."
Oh, location. I would have found a different location.
Really?
Yeah, this location has been challenging.
Okay. Would you still stay in Plainfield, or would it be
I wouldn't have to be in Plainfield.
okay if something came up wherever
Yeah.
you'd be?
Yeah. Now I'm in too deep really to move, I feel
Well, you're
like.
becoming an institution in Plainfield. to be
Yeah,
honest, and-
yeah. But it was a struggle when we first opened. The former mayor wasn't really behind us. We struggled with some things, getting approved for some things, and just we talked about it again. The entrance, the no left turn,
Yeah.
being pushed all the way back here.
Hardee's left.
Yeah, that building was empty for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I think if I was to give somebody advice about opening any kind of business, I would tell them location. And people told me that, and I was like, yeah, it's a location, it's fine. I like the location, but there aren't in this L-shaped building, there aren't many daytime draws to
Yeah.
bring people to this strip mall, other than me.
Other than walk-in casual, walk-by
Yeah.
trap. Yep. No, I get that.
Yeah, there's not a reason to walk from one end of the strip mall to the other to visit several stores. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a restaurant. You've got
You got a restaurant on each end.
and then the hair.
Yeah, we got 2 hair salons. We got an insurance agent, and a health club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know how much this you actually have, but how do you spend your free time? Other than going to concerts.
We go to a lot of concerts. I like to ride my bike. I've got a bicycle. I'm a bike
Okay.
rider. In the summer months,
Didn't know that.
yeah, I spend a lot of time on my bike. Yeah.
A regular bike,
Yeah,
electric bike?
regular
or
bike.
old
Regular
school?
bike, old school. Yep, I pump them pedals. Yep. Yep. No motorcycle either because I'll probably kill myself. I'm just not that talented. But yeah, so I like to ride the bike. Music. We talked about my dog.
Sure.
Walk my dog, spend time doing that, and I'm a fantasy football geek.
Oh, really?
I'm a sports geek, but I'm a fantasy football
Okay.
geek. I've got several fantasy football teams. I run a fantasy football league.
Do you do one from the Black Dog?
No, I don't. And maybe I should. I was thinking about starting another league. So you never know.
That might be a draw between the NCAA. Well, it's too late now.
Yeah, the
probably,
NCAA one's over. And I'm a big sports guy, a big White Sox fan,
Mm-hmm.
and just shoot me now because that's who I am.
Well, so you're a South Sider. So where were you? I didn't ask you this. Where did you kind of grow up at?
I grew up in Oak Park.
Okay, that
So-
makes sense then.
Yeah, I grew up just off of Austin and Roosevelt Road.
Okay.
My father owned a tavern in Chicago just on the other side of Austin. We lived right on the other side of Austin in Oak Park, so we
when
weren't
as a
in the
kid,
city.
being an owner like this was something that you saw firsthand. And,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think this is Ken's favorite question. What is the most useless talent that you have, and can you show us?
What's the most useless talent I have? I don't know if I've got any. I don't know if I got any useful talents either.
Oh,
I'm a trivia guy. I know trivia. I know there's really nothing I can do. I'm old and broken down in my body, so I can't do any of the fun things I used to do, like headstands or anything like that.
jeez.
What can I do? Stupid, useless talent. No, I'm double jointed in my thumbs. I don't know, is that a thing?
I don't know. Ken, would you allow that?
That's a talent. I don't know. I can do this.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Okay,
If Hermione's toes count,
Harmony's toes.
Hermione's toes count, then I think Mike's thumbs count.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. Our favorite one is Harmony. We interviewed her. She was the second guest after Holden. And she did this really weird, freaky thing where she's like, I can stand on my toes. I'm like, well, her sister's a ballerina. And okay, you would expect that. No, she did literally this, curled her toes under, and then showed us, and then was like prancing. It's like, how?
Ouch.
I would break my
That
toes.
sounds painful,
so many,
yeah.
But it was, Yeah, it was useless, but it was a talent.
That's a talent.
So, okay.
That's the thing, yes.
Okay. So, last question. What is something you would like to tell your customers?
Come see us. We appreciate. Tell my customers. The customers I have already, I would tell them that I appreciate them and that please continue to support us. Future customers, I'd say, come find us. You won't be disappointed. You'll enjoy it and you'll come back. And yeah, that's my sell.
Fantastic. So, thank you very much, Mike, for taking the time. Record Store Day, it's going to be a big deal. We're going to try and get this out very soonish. And it's been great talking to you. I learned some stuff about the store. I'm a trivia guy too. I'm a cinephile trivia guy. Learned a lot more about the store, which was great. Again, this place is very near and dear to a lot of us. And got to know a little bit more about you, which was always nice.
It was very enjoyable.
So thank you so much. We'll definitely be seeing you very soon. And thank you. Thanks, everyone.